Since 1994, safe, fast and more, a reliable name, mixcat.com.
Hey guys, it's Pete from Mixcat. I'm in kind of a funny place right now, looking to save some money. I have a fill valve that's supposed to save us some money on our water. And I don't know if you guys, you'll probably hear in a couple minutes, this toilet seems to be running quite a bit. And I actually just installed this toilet a little bit over a year ago, and the valve is already starting to get leaky. So I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to actually change one of these. And if yours is a couple years old, this is definitely a project you're going to want to do. It's very, very easy. I got this at Home Depot. Supposed to last about 3 years. We'll see. Not sure on that. Comes with instructions. This particular one claims that it could save you some money on your water. Kind of a neat concept. The older style ones have the bulbs in them that floats on top of the water. This one's all integrated, which is kind of nice. And this is actually, as the water rises, it shuts the fill valve off. So, pretty easy project. Basically, I'm going to screw this into the bottom, and the water hose is going to go into the top. I'll zoom in and I'll show you guys. As you can see inside this top, hopefully you can see, it's in pretty good shape. Again, this is only about a year and a half old. When I bought the house, I popped this in. It also, the older style ones has a bulb kind of going across. It's a rod on a bulb, and as the water level comes up, you can actually hear it now. This is leaking a little bit, and that's why it's actually wasting water, and I want to stop that. But yeah, again, usually the older ones have a bulb on the end, and as that comes up, it shuts the fill valve off. This one's leaking, and as the bulb goes down, it's drawing in more water, so essentially just wasting a whole bunch of water. Top view. The only thing I'm going to be switching out today is going to be this unit. The flap that's down there is going to be, that's actually going to stay. This rod is fine, so we're in good shape besides this valve. And you can actually hear and probably see that it is wasting water. That you hear that? That's where it's coming. There's a little drop coming off of that, and probably gallons of water every month. And I'm going to do both my bathrooms, but just to kind of give you an idea how this process works, this is going to come out and this is going to replace it, new and improved. Okay, let's get into it. Underneath the toilet here is the shutoff valve. That's what we're looking at right over there. Anytime you work on anything that's water related, you're going to definitely want to shut off that valve down there. That way you don't run the risk of having a leak and making a big mess. Okay, now that I shut that valve off, we're going to go ahead and release the water. There we go. Sure you guys never heard that sound before. As you can see, I have no shame. But, hey, to save a buck, I will go pretty far. Alright, now that the water's released, I still have a little bit on the bottom, but the water's off on the bottom, so I can go ahead and take off this hose. I didn't realize how tight it is in here, but underneath the bowl, you see the nut there. This is going to be undone, and that's actually the bottom side of the valve here, which you see here. That's what's going to be coming through, and actually what torques down on this hose. So I'm going to go ahead and unscrew this, and above that you'll see a little nut that goes into the actual bottom of the bowl. This is going to come off, and that's going to be how we actually remove that valve. And make sure you have a little towel down on the floor just to catch whatever is kind of left in the toilet there and in the lines. The next thing that's going to come off is this screw right here. Alright, I went ahead and I took that bolt off the bottom. This little hose is going to come out of there, and this guy's going to come out, and that's why I said you want to have a towel down there. There's a little bit water left. It's going into the towel. Let me get this out of here. The other thing you're going to want to actually replace is the flapper that's in there. Let me move this guy. Sorry for the camera work. It's a pretty tight spot. Here's the flapper that's on the bottom. See him? The blue guy? But that's in pretty good shape. I'm actually just going to go ahead and clean it up, and this one's fine right now. It's, again, only a year and a half old. But I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Really, you don't need tools for this. This is all pretty simple stuff. All right, and clip. Let's see. That looks good. All right, the hose is going to go at the end of this. Now, let's see here. Yeah, that should go into the bottom. But this is what's going to be doing the filling. So just kind of push that over that. This goes on the bottom. Yeah, it's a pretty long one. I'm actually going to cut this to size. It's a little too long, if you ask me. Yeah, let's do it right about there. Okay. Get him. And push that hose like it was before, right in there. All right, looking good. All right, what we're gonna do now is actually open up the water and hope we don't get sprayed. All right. Oh, that one's faster than the other one. And there's a little valve over here to fill from the top. It also fills from the bottom, which is kind of neat. Which also works as a leak detector, it says on the instruction sheet here. I'll let that go ahead and fill up and give it a flush. Hopefully it stops like it's supposed to. And the flaps on the bottom, they do leak from time to time, so it's a good idea to change those, once a year, once every other year. But again, I just did that one pretty recent, so I'm guessing it's good. But if I do hear it leaking, I will switch that out. Let's see what we got here. Getting kind of close to the top. There we go. So I should hold that a little longer. And success. Again, a very simple project, but if this valve starts leaking or your flap on the bottom is leaking, you're going to be blowing through a lot of water that you're not using. It's just a waste of water. So anywhere we can save some money, we're going to go ahead and do that to cut our bills down, and I suggest you do the same if you really don't even have to be too handy to do this project. This is a pretty easy one. And I know people kind of get a little squeamish working around the toilet, but I assure you it's water, there's nothing dirty back there. Just wash your hands when you're done, and remember, don't touch your face. Alright guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed that and find it useful. Have a great weekend. Take care.
Since 1994, safe, fast and more, our reliable name, mixcat.com.